Welcome back to MTN Live in the Mountains. I'm here with Michelle Lundgren. She is the co-founder and executive director for Kari's Home for Women. How are you today?
I am great. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, ma'am. It's a pleasure to have you here. So first of all, tell us a little bit about Kari's Home. So you guys are fairly new. You guys have kind of been around for about 2 years.
We have.
And the 2 years has kind of been a startup for you guys?
We're a startup ministry. We're a brand new nonprofit in the area, and our target audience is women that are recovering from drug and alcohol addiction.
All right. So tell us a little bit of the concept of, your mission. What exactly is your mission?
Okay. Well, we are a residential recovery facility for ladies that are recovering from drug and alcohol addiction, and we're actually going to be the only residential facility in this area, meaning the Ashe, Avery, Watauga, and Wilkes County area. We are a faith-based ministry, which means that we're Christian-based and all of our curriculum will be biblically based. And so we're really targeting the ladies that really are serious about overcoming their addictive behaviors and destructive behavior patterns and are willing to go through a program that is Christ-centered.
Absolutely. So tell us, what exactly kind of come to you to start this ministry?
Well, it's been quite the journey, and it hasn't happened very quickly. You just mentioned that we've been around for a couple of years, and we're still trying to get our facility open. We've had several roadblocks and a few setbacks. But the vision for Kari's Home really started several years ago. I was involved in a project through Alliance Bible Fellowship called Celebrate Recovery, which is a Christ-centered recovery ministry for people with alcoholic behaviors. And I was part of that leadership team, and I mentored and sponsored women, and I saw a lot of ladies come through that particular outreach ministry that really struggled. They struggled with the shame, they struggled with not having people to talk to that understood, and it really became a burden on my heart to reach out and help these women vocationally. And at the time, I was working a full-time job, working for Samaritan's Purse, pretty busy, traveling, and thought, how in the world is this going to happen? I need an income. And so that went on for about 2 or 3 years, and I really struggled with how could I do something to help. In the interim, my now husband, John, and his family had a 250-acre farm that they really wanted to see used for the Lord, and they wanted to do something that was addiction recovery related. And so they started talking with Freedom Farm Ministries about doing something with them. And my boss at Samaritan's Purse happened to be affiliated with Freedom Farm at the time, and he recruited me to their board. And that's where I learned about their idea to do something for women. Mm-hmm. And the lights kind of came on for me. I'm like, this is it. We could join arms with those nice folks, and they're doing a great work with men. Mm-hmm. And that was also on the heart of one of their staff members, Stephanie Davis, and her husband Eric, who both worked at Freedom Farm. And together we sort of put our heads together, the 6 of us, and came up with an idea of doing a ladies ministry. And long story short, I met John on the Freedom Farm board, married him, and we started off on this big adventure about 2 years ago in October of trying to figure out how to make it happen for women.
What a great story. So the name Kari's Home, is that named particularly after someone?
Actually, it is. Kari was the oldest sibling of my husband, John. And she died tragically at an early age, and it's sort of memorial to Kari. She was the only girl in the family and the oldest, and so we really wanted to embody, her spirit, the love for the Lord, and she loved horses, the farm atmosphere.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, that is a great story, and what a great ministry. It's really important to provide a place for women who are struggling to feel safe, and that safe area, because they're actually going to live on the farm.
They are. It's a residential facility, and it'll be a 6-month initial commitment. We're asking the ladies to commit to 6 months with us, and at the end of that 6 months they'll have an opportunity to commit for another 3 months for what we're calling the transition phase. And it's our hope during that phase that we can resource them with other service providers here in the area and let them get started on, getting their GED or getting some additional vocational training, helping them learn to manage a house, have a budget, so that when they leave us, they're well equipped to have a different life. And one of our little taglines is we want to teach the women to live life differently.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want them to have to go back to that dependent lifestyle and the lifestyle that got them involved in drugs and alcohol.
Right. That is awesome. And you guys are going to be doing, actually, let me ask this, how many women can stay at the residential facility?
Well, right now it's going to be a small number. We're kind of starting small. We have a small residence. It's out in the Sugar Grove area.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have 4 ladies to begin with, and we have 20 acres of land that a very generous person donated to us that we're going to be able to use. So we're quickly looking at expanding and adding more houses, a transitional home, some type of a multi-purpose building that we can have the classes in and have some chapel services and community things in. So we'll start with 4, but our hope is to serve as many as 20.
Right. And this is good because you're actually in search for a house mother who's actually going to stay with the women and act as kind of a guiding light.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah. Because it's always you've kind of got to have someone there for support and kind of make sure everything is going according to the program.
Exactly, yes.
Because the initial reason is to help these women. But while they're there, there's going to be different opportunities to not only take part in the ministry and the program, but you guys are wanting to teach sustainable life skills. Like, I know we were talking a little bit before, you were talking about like sewing, and you guys are thinking of doing a garden. So, and I'm all for that. I think that's great. A lot of people are not learning these techniques, these ways of doing things for yourself. And I think that's really important. So,
well, like I said, we want to teach them how to live life differently, and that really kind of starts with a heart and head attitude adjustment. That's how it started with me. You have to kind of get to the place where you realize, this is not working for me. And that's where we're going to start with them, is just really giving them an opportunity to evaluate their life and decide for themselves, do they really want this? And if they do, we're there to help them. We're going to bring in ladies from the community to teach classes like budgeting and cooking and sewing. I know how to garden and can, so I hope to be involved in that at some level. I love to dig in the dirt, so that will be outside of the actual classroom. So we want to teach them how to have fun too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm hoping to have like Friday night bonfires and really try to involve the community at a level so they can learn how to have fun. And fun doesn't necessarily include the drinking and the party lifestyle, because you can have a lot of fun just with other people and relationships. So we want to teach them how to be more well-rounded and give them opportunities to really take control of their own life and their own destiny in the context of a Christian environment where it's loving and supportive, and hopefully they'll have a chance to have a second chance. So.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I love that. It sounds like to me you guys have got it going on. And it is in a slow, not in a slow, but in a, it takes a while to get off the ground. And but you guys are still working at it and still going strong. And you guys are going to be having a banquet. So tell us a little bit about that.
We are. We're very excited. In 2 days, on Thursday evening, we're going to be having our second annual fundraising banquet and silent auction. And the purpose of this event is to raise operational funds so that we can actually open our doors. We're hoping to do that as soon as we can in 2015. And so I just invite everyone to come out. It's going to be held at the Greenway Family Life Center. Starts at 5:30 on Thursday evening. We're starting it off with a silent auction. So we have some wonderful things that area businesses have donated. We've got some vacations, some things we're raffling off. A week stay in Denver, Colorado at a condominium. We also have a couple of fur coats that we have in there. We have some handmade jewelry, some crafts, some exercise equipment, and everything in between. So if you need to do some early Christmas shopping, come on by. 5:30 to 6:30 is the silent auction. We have a nice meal that's being catered by the Green Street Catering Group at 6:30. And then we have a couple of ladies that are coming, and they're going to give their recovery testimonies. And they're going to share how their life was changed by a facility similar to Kari's home.
Amazing.
And what they're doing to give back. So it's going to be a wonderful evening, a very inspiring evening. And our hope is to raise enough money so that we can hire the house mother, hire a program director, and then we're going to be able to take some applications and get ourselves rolling. So.
Well, that sounds amazing. Now, I'm going to the banquet. I'm definitely going to be there. Me and a couple other girls are going to go, and learn a little bit more about this wonderful ministry that you guys are starting here to serve those struggling. And I think that's amazing, and it's a wonderful story, and I think you guys really have your eye on the ball. So,
thank you.
And it sounds, honestly, the one-on, it's kind of like it allows for one-on-one. I know it sounds like, oh, we're going to have 4, but I feel like that's just where bonds are made in smaller groups, and success is you have a higher chance of success, and that's what you guys are going for. And I feel like, and I know I'm rambling, but this is so I love this, but it's people-centered.
It is.
It's really focused on the person, and it's not about the numbers. And I can see your passion through just been talking with you, and so. But I just want to say that this sounds amazing. So, and I encourage everyone to come out to the banquet.
Yes, and if you'd like to come, you can just drop in. It's not necessary at this late date to RSVP. We're planning on feeding 200 plus. So we have extra seats. Come on by. We'd love to see you.
All right. Well, great. Well, thank you so much
Thank you for having me.
all your efforts in putting this together, and I look forward to the banquet. And thank you so much for being here and sharing your story.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.